Yes, yes, it's the Lacey live on Mode, yeah? Yeah. Shout out Razor inside each and every, yeah? So I've got a very special show, very special guest. Got a headline show tomorrow night, Brixton Jam, yeah? Airospace, yeah, what we saying? You good?
Yeah, it's good. You know, it's Airospace from Washington, D.C., Southside. You know, appreciate, having me out here. First real time in London, you know what I'm saying? All love.
First time. I was going to ask that as well. That's one of my later questions. You kind of skipped me through.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's cold. So I'm interested in kind of like, you've obviously had a long career so far, but maybe it's the first time people are hearing about you over here. So maybe, can you kind of give an introduction to how you started spitting, what you got involved in, what your influences, and yeah, from there.
All right, boom. Make it real quick. I grew up in the church a little bit. I'm a drummer of 15 years, pianist of somewhere around 10 years. Produce, engineer, act, Polaroid photography. It's my shit. Yeah, I love it. Let's see. Big influences: Jay-Z, Kanye, Queen Latifah, Jean Grey, Tears for Fears, Bill Jarda, The Chariot, Herbie Hancock. Just, man, I go down the list. There's a lot of stuff. Madlib, MF Doom, you know what I'm saying?
That's a heavy list. And you into like, I heard some of your early stuff. It's like spoken word as well, so you have that kind of element to things as well, right? So you're not just a rapper, you're multifaceted, if that kind of makes sense. So I wanted to play something from your project Analogs.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, can you kind of tell me a bit about that project and how that came about? I know it's a few years back, but to contextualize what you've been doing.
Okay. Right, let's see, a little bit before that, the style that I was like coming from was more like lo-fi and more like cerebral. And then like Analogs was like, okay, I'm doing the anime shit and that's really great, like having that as like a brand, but my name is Airospace, which the whole gist is to take you outside of the space. So it was like putting an actual stamp on me as an artist, even with the concept of like the original artwork is like Shawty holding a titty, which is a lot of what the album's about, but then the one that was actually able to cross over into social media is actually the moon, in space. So Analogs is like, it came from sun analogs, which is like bursts of energy that flare off of the sun. So that was the beginning of from analogs, which is, sunrise, to nocturne, which is sleep, and then oscillation, which is like the universe and shit like that.
Yeah, that's cold. That's really interesting as well. So I wanted to play, I listened to the project a few days ago, and it's Wormhole.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's cold. Let's play that one.
That was inspired by this group from LA named Volumes, really dope hardcore group.
Nice one. Yeah, that one. Cold.
Appreciate you. Damn, I love London. Y'all niggas. Y'all understand music. It's so fire.
Honestly, like, it's so sick to kind of like hear an artist for the first time, and over the past sort of week or two, I knew you were coming. I was like, yeah, I need to get into this, and then realize the depth and range of stuff that you're trying to do. And you mentioned anime as well, so there's that project, Hanekawa, is that, am I pronouncing it correctly? Yeah. So I'm interested in like your relationship to sort of like anime, to Japanese culture. How did you kind of get into that? And a lot of these man here as well are really into anime. You hear it like that.
Hey, shout out.
Yeah.
Shout out everybody out here that love anime. I love y'all niggas.
So I'm interested in kind of like the concept behind the project and what you were kind of trying to realize in that space. And there's a lot of other projects as well you've got with like just Japanese like language on the thing as well. Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it real with you. Like, a lot of Asian culture raised me. Like, and I can say this for, not just for myself, but I know a lot of, black people in the hood. Like, whether you have access to Asian food or you have Asian friends, whether South Asian, Indian, or you have like Chinese friends, you have Japanese friends, you have Korean friends, which I had later on.
Yeah.
But I was introduced to anime like really young. Like, shout out Big Bro. His cousin was stationed in Okinawa, so he would get a lot of bootleg like PS2 games, a lot of the good shit, and he would send it over. So I got my first anime was Neon Genesis Evangelion, and I think I was like 5 or 6. And that shit was crazy. I saw that shit. I was like, oh, this is incredible. And then that's when I started drawing like 02, 03, like and then later on as I got older, seeing like Sailor Moon, that click, which I think Sailor Moon came out 91. And I think like I'd seen it like Cartoon Network, but I hadn't really processed what it was, even though I loved it. then later on, like with my bro, he's like, oh yeah, by the way, let me actually tell you what this is. And it's like, oh shit, this is incredible. So jump forward to Hanakawa, back like way before that, like 2007, 2008. Like I had the idea, and it didn't really kick in until like 2010, I think 2010, 2011, somewhere around there. Did Samurai Outlaw with one of the homies, and which was a mix of Samurai Champloo and Outlaw Star. That's how we got the name. Nice. And then it was, you know, Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3. Hanakawa was supposed to be the bridge between Volume 3 and Volume 4. If you've seen Bakemonogatari, if you follow the entire series, it kind of goes in a flow. So like, it was like the Senjugahara period, which the relation with to me was like, it was a mix, right? You had the Araragi and you had Senjugahara. Senjugahara more of a narcissist, Araragi more of a pushover. I related to both of those, and I've been in relationships like that. So pushing it over up until the Hanakawa period, which is where it trailed off into his relationship with someone that like kind of had like, they had a friendship relationship, but it had turned into somewhat of an obsession with him that he kind of explored, but not really. It was a period of time where I was talking to someone that actually was a lot like that. And I was living in Pittsburgh at the time. So it was like a lot of themes of my life that just tied in with the anime, like perfect timing type shit. And then Volume 4, you know, Kill Shot, you know, anybody that has watched the anime knows this is a character, really like badass shawty, like crazy hair, like blonde hair, but she's like the strongest vampire type shit. And Araragi came into contact with her because he saw her crying. She had half a body. Think about it, right? Like Superman syndrome, or even you projecting what you would want into a relationship, or I should go save this person type shit. So that's what happened. He saw her half body, was like, oh, let me go check this out. He went to go save her, and then it was like, ha, got you. I'm actually the strongest vampire, and now we're stuck together. So he ended up having to kill her, but he didn't really kill her. It ended up turning into a situation where he had to give up his life force in order to exchange it. So now, in order for her to stay alive, the contract was that he gives up his blood intermittently. So that's his way of like taking responsibility for the fact that he almost destroyed the world minding someone else's business. Yeah. It's crazy.
That story is mad. Yeah, it's crazy. So I wanted to play Perfect Canvas from that record. Yeah, is that cool? So that was Ewoni on the beat, yeah? Is that right? Yeah.
Incredible producer.
I was going to ask you because he was here with Flanagan, a month or two back?
For real?
Yeah.
Hey, yo, Ewoni, I've been trying to get in contact with you for a while. Now that we here, can we do this? Because I know we like visited this like some years ago. Yo, I'm really, really trying to like get you like off the beats, like type shit. And like I'm here with the bread, so holla at me. I love you.
Nice one. So I'm going to get to your current project now, which I need to make sure I'm saying it correctly. Entitled You're a Lion, You Suck, Who Would Love You? Which is one of the best titles I've heard for a record in quite some time.
Okay.
Yeah, so I want to play one or two tracks from it, but I'm interested conceptually how you approached it and kind of what you were trying to achieve with the record.
People to think.
Yeah.
Like, conceptually, it's like, you're a liar and you suck. Like, the who will love you portion is like, it's deep in and of itself. You know, you ask yourself that question, who will love me? Who will love you? Somebody else asking, who would love you? You know, like, you're a liar, you suck, who would love you? But then, does that mean that you're the person that's the determinant of whether or not I deserve love? Like, who gives you that jurisdiction to judge me on the basis of that? Or even on the other side, it's like, why wouldn't you deserve love? Yeah. So as you're listening to the record is actually, each track is a tale of different symptoms of mental illness.
Yeah.
So like, the who will love you is like, you're like thinking about it, but you're also in a state where it's like, let me tell you who it is. Let me tell you who I am. Would you love this? Let's talk about it. And, you know, then going into Supra, which is like you being in a space where you like, you know, when you really, really manic and you like, oh, yeah, I'm a shit. Yeah, I'm about to, you know, then it starts going down. You get your withdrawals. You got your dopamine. You know, the last name of the song is Godspeed You Black Emperors Part 2 from something from Azalea.
Yeah.
But that concept is like you gotta think about it coming from a song that's called I'm Not Saying I'm Jesus, I'm Saying I'm Jesus Christ. That's the narcissistic aspect of it, like the God complex. That's the delusions of grandeur, and then you go into God's speed because everything comes to an end. It goes in a flow, so it's like going up into the high and then you crash, you know, and then you get to the Sibiu, which is like you gotta detach from everything, so you disappear for a while, start all over again.
Yeah, that's a really good evocation. Kind of what I was trying to sort of unpack it, and I was like, I could tell from the titles there's something going on here, but it's really good to kind of hear it from you in that instance. So 17th Street Northeast, right? This is probably my favorite one of the record.
Shout out to my man. Man, I'm here for it all day. Yo, he probably sleep. I'd love to call him. Yo, shout out to my boy 90 Wise, okay? 90 Wise that's my brother. That's like my best man, and he's heavily underrated. Like, he's cold on the mic, and it's funny because we have this little banter, you know, when you're like close to somebody and you both do dope MCing. It's like, nigga, you nice, and I'm like, nah, you nice. So I sent him the track. He's like, oh, I had to rewrite it 5 times because I da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, okay, well, I had to re-record it because you da-da-da-da, you know, type shit. But like the whole purpose and concept of the track is number 1, 17th Street. So that's on the northeast side of DC, right? I'm from the south side, but I ended up moving over to the northeast side, just spending some time learning about it, Trinidad, all that area, Langston, Langdon, Carver area. And 17th Street is like a little pocket, you know. You go to 17th, and then it's like, all right, it's a little murky here. Then you go to 18th, then 19th, and 20th. You know what I'm saying? And then you go back, and it's like it get colder, and it's like around the time when I moved over to 17th Street and Lang, there were so many shootings. It's all the time. There's something always going on. So that song was meant to encapsulate the understanding of the two sides of the expression of black trauma. Most of the time, like people find a way to dismiss black people's feelings, period. It doesn't matter how you identify, what your orientation is. But this, I started off with like when tragedy is struck, the cosmic accident was me. I was a part of it. Your botching speech disguised as bittersweet. Kind of need how they neglect to force distractions out of me to busting bitches, buck deep britches, buck below her brittle knees. Took a shot to spit your melon, but I was off by 6 degrees. Made a scene, took the president and yanked him up a tree. It's like that whole part was like, let me tell you what this is as straightforward and emotionless as possible so you can't dismiss it. Then you get to 90s verse, which is now you're forced to hear how it actually affected us. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm telling you, now you see the effect of it.
Completely. Let's run it. This one, 17th Street Northeast. Yeah. This is a mad one.
Shout out to 90
round of
Wise.
applause in the studio, Yeah, new project from Airospace. Yes. So, I could be running tunes for this project all evening, but in the interest of time, I was wondering if we could squeeze off a little freestyle.
What you want?
You've got a choice of instrumental 1 or instrumental 2.
All right, let's hear instrumental 1 and instrumental 2. Hey, yo, turn this up. Real niggas say so. 50 Cent, I got a Tony Yayo. Blast you in the head, put it to your head. Lay low, don't got no fucking time to play with these games. I feel like Mario the Kart and I slayed in the lane. Slayed in his fate. I don't got no time for you shit. Fucking on your bitch, your mama sucking my dick. I smack your dad and your cousin, then hop in your whip. Crashed your shit off the side, they gave your cousin a dick. It sound crazy when you think about it and you talking this shit. Might smack you 2 times before you calling it quits. I got my niggas on the side and we pull up in whips. I mean the whips are chain, slavery, colonial shit. What you talking? Hard when you sparking. Put it in your mouth. Inhale, then we coughing. Crazy, you stalking. I might smack you up. They bring your girl in a coffin. Cough like, talking too crazy. They might put me out the side. They might call me Slim Shady. Okay, it don't matter for that. Hit you back in the past as a matter of fact. Bring this present, this a gift and a curse. The blueprint is real nice. My Jay-Z's was the worst. I mean Nas, maybe I'm Illmatic, Stillmatic, the worth is better than what you had as the gift or the curse. Alright.
Yeah, it's Airospace, Where we can catch you? Tomorrow night, Brixton Jam.
Brixton Jam.
You
know, with all the homies.
Yeah. It's If you like what you hear, get down there tomorrow, yeah?
Yeah. Appreciate everybody in London. I love this area. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Razor. Shout out the homies that gave hella love. Everybody that's coming out killing the shit. You know we out here.
Yo, love for passing through each and every, yeah?
Yes, bless.
Gonna stick around for the set.
Bless to you. Mr. Lacey.
Say.
More.